7 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house along the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin that baby built on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, baby, and tell me, who do you love? Who do you love? Now around the town, he's a rattlesnake whip. Take it easy, baby, don't you give me no lip. Who do you love? Who do you love? I got a tombstone hand, a graveyard mind. I'm just 22 and I don't mind dying. Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Ah, who do you love? Took her down by my hand. She said, Lonesome George, you don't understand. Who do you love? The night was dark and the sky was blue. Down the alleyway, I swag and blue. Hit off bump and somebody scream. You should have heard just what I seen. Who do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Oh, who do you love? Graveyard mind. Just 22, baby, I don't mind dying. Snakeskin shoes, baby, put them on your feet. Got the good time music with the boogie to the beat. Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love? I walk 47 miles of barbed wire. I got a cobra snake for a necktie. A brand new house along the roadside, and it's made out of rattlesnake hide. Got a brand new chin, the mama bit on top, and it's made out of human skull. Come on, take a little walk with me, child. Tell me, who do you love? Yeah, who do you love? Who do you love?
Oh, yeah. Smacking your communist ass with the pimp hand of freedom. It's post-politics. Wednesday night, all cylinders fired. J-Rev Radio, Raz Radio Live, Radio Chaos, IPM Nation, and Salty Talk Radio, plus our most excellent YouTube channel.
Yeah, bro.
I just shared it on Facebook. Go peep that shit, like it, subscribe, hit the bell. The notification bell, all that happy horse shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm white trashing it tonight, man, with the wife beater on and shit.
The ass wife beater.
Yeah.
If you want to see Zach and all his sexiness, go to our YouTube.
Look at them shoulders.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Yeah.
A bit of feedback off of your headphones or whatever's coming through. But I can hear myself just a tad bit.
Really? All right. Let's see.
Just letting you know, kid.
All right,
And
bruh.
what we got here tonight. Of course, there's a lot of shit to get into because we didn't do a show for a good long while, and we pretty much took up the entirety of the show
Of last show, yeah.
doing a father's rights campaign once again.
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes you just need to air some shit out.
You got to do that.
So, of course, we'll get into this YouTube gimmick. And, like, I was watching.
Yeah.
I was listening. I was watching. And as far as mainstream outlets go, they spent, like, very little time on this and then went right back to what's up with the Russians.
Yeah.
Like, when you're talking about CNN, MSNBC, I checked out just a little bit of Fox News and they were reporting on it, but I didn't check how quickly they went to something else or what the pundits have been saying about it since then. But yeah, we'll get into all the ins, outs, the what have yous. You know,
Definitely the what have yous for sure.
hey, there's a drink here, man. There's a beverage here, man. So
Update real quick, just while we were mentioning YouTube, I just noticed this, right? Because I was going through our, where you were asking me earlier if we still wanted to just go ahead and play whatever on YouTube, right? Like just
apparently
fuck it, let's just go ahead. Well, no, it was funny. No, because I went and checked before I answered you, so I went and like just made sure, like, hey, is there any copyrighted shit? Like, is it blocking like the last episode or anything like that I didn't notice or whatever?
right.
And, we are actually our last episode is banned in Australia because of Hank the Third.
That's great.
Hank the Third got us banned in Australia.
Okay,
So,
I think we're cool for now. We're gonna test the limits for this show on the YouTubes tonight.
Yeah.
But it's also like, you know what?
Dude, I'm seeing like people that have like 15,000 subscribers getting demonetized and shit, and it's one of those that it's like,
Look,
so you know what I mean?
like this will
Yeah.
be part of the bigger discussion that we have about this fucking crazy bitch that went and shot up the YouTube headquarters.
Yeah.
So like this is like I don't know if you saw the promo pic that we have for tonight, but Dennis fucking is killing the meme game once again. Dennis is killing the fucking meme game with this YouTube shit. I liked saved.
Dude, is he fucking like he needs to put his little watermark down on his memes, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For
Get your
sure.
little DF
Well,
fucking
love,
watermark, you know?
because I've been seeing some of his stuff in other areas of people like I don't know if he's actually friends with them or if on Facebook or whatever, or if he's just I don't know. But Dennis is killing
Dennis,
it. With
if you're out there tonight, man, shoot me a deal, man. I'll make you a little watermark you can throw over your memes, and you can just toss that bitch on there.
So like I said, that's all part of the bigger issue, and I know it's sort of shop talk right now, but
yeah.
there's also people like I'll be honest, we don't have that many subscribers, and we have just a handful more of subscribers that we have our regular views so far for the YouTube channel, which is still like less than about a month old at this point.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as far as like and actually what's funny is this has been probably one of our like least busy like month and a half that we've been on YouTube. Like we have missed more episodes than we have in the past probably fucking 3 years,
or so. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get into all that shit and more. We've got listen to this shit. Trump instructs military to begin planning for withdrawal from Syria.
Damn.
Think it couldn't be done. I don't know, man. There's just so much shit floating around out there. I'm just like, whatever. I can cheer. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna cheer for the things that I think like are good moves.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. It's stupid not to. It's some like there's that like holier than thou anarchist view of like
still live here, guy. You
yeah,
know,
like listen, dude, I still live in reality. Like if somebody's pulling the corruption of fucking government back, if somebody's and actually I fucking reference Rogan all the time, but like on the Rogan podcast the other day, they were talking about really he was talking about Roseanne Barr when she was talking about like, no, dude, like nobody mentions the fact that he has been like really like he was after the whole child sex trafficking thing like pretty big, and nobody mentions it, and you're like, that was some shit that was like a big political and Hollywood deal that he was actually like attacking that nobody else touched, and that's something that's like
it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, you're like, dude, there's something like, dude, I looked at, dude, there is. I didn't believe it because Eddie Bravo had said it the other day, right? And I was like, oh, dude, no, I'm not believing it. And it was, dude,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, I got to verify when Bravo says something, right? So I went and verified, and dude, 800,000 children go missing in the United States every year. 800,000. And now 200,000 of those are kidnapped by family members. All right. So that still leaves, though, 600,000 children that go missing in the United States every year. And it's like, wow, dude, that should be a huge issue, but it's not because it's in it. You know what I mean? It's not making news coverage like that. But you'd have to assume that there's definitely a market for fucking kids if there is 600,000 kids going missing a year. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
It's just all that shit. Yeah, there's a lot of it, man. We'll get into all of it.
Yeah. And the last thing on that, plus we've got more just outside of this realm, but of course it continues to be a hot button issue, and a lot of shit on the issue has come out in the past week and a half since we've really talked about it. So, or 2 weeks, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But knife attacks, this is a new stat. Knife attacks propel London to outpace New York City's murder rate for the first time in modern history. Yeah. The knife attacks that are going on in London, the city of London, is outweighing the New York City murder rate.
See, dude, here's my thing. I got to be completely honest with you. I would rather get shot.
Yes, getting stabbed hurts, man. I've been cut,
and it's not. Yeah, I got stabbed in my shoulder, which was an easy place to get stabbed.
But I've been sliced pretty deep a good handful of times.
Dude, I got stabbed in my shoulder when I was like 17 in Galveston, Texas. But it was like that's still probably one of the easier places to get stabbed, and that shit hurt. Now I've never been shot. I'm sure getting shot hurts pretty bad. My thing with like stabbings though, are there's some up close, personal, twist the blade type of shit can happen with that. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, somebody that gets close enough to stab you really fucking wants to get.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know? Like, yeah, like you can catch a stray bullet. You know what I mean? You don't catch a stray knife. You know what I mean? Like that shit was meant for you.
That's just pretty intentional. You know?
Yeah.
But. Okay, and of course we'll get on the Tide Pod injected fucking condom snorting fetishes of the fucking trying to ban our Second Amendment. So, whatever.
Beautiful.
Dear Lord, save us all.
Yeah.
I'm a proud shithole.
Anyway, we're going to hit our intro. We'll be right back in 2 minutes, everybody, and get this shit kicked off right. More post-politics coming up next.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO Fighter, the show that gets America its balls back.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people love this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
I mean, you're born absolutely free except for laws of nature. If you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a tack, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's post-politics with Trip here.
All right, everybody. You know what time it is.
Woo!
Back at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's start off with some fun. And, yeah, this fucking condom snorting.
Nothing says fun like snorting condoms.
It's like, I don't
I
know,
can't
man.
even be like that's my thing though, is that I totally get that there's a like, I understand how crazy shit happens, right? Like that things become popular randomly, right? Like you're like, man, I had no idea something like that would go viral, right? This is probably though one of the first times that I just 100% was like, how the fuck did somebody even start doing that? Like, where was that? Like the Tide Pods thing was even easier for me to understand.
Here's the other thing.
Not that it was,
I
reasonable.
don't.
Discover new Dove Men Plus Care foaming body wash.
What we're doing?
Right? That's how we're dealing with the monetization, ladies and gentlemen.
Pump, foam, hydrate. New Dove Men Plus Care foaming body wash.
Yeah. That's a good one, though.
Flash it out, dude. Shut there. Shut the.
Okay. They're, all right.
There we go.
Jeez, with these kids. And as boys, girls, it doesn't matter, you know.
Dude, yeah. I mean, and actually, yeah, I saw 2 pictures of girls fucking.
By the way,
condoms.
we're the last generation of what are you, a fag? Like that's the last we were the last generation of that, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Evidently. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm so confused. Like
you know, just
I feel like, and it is one of those things, right? That I like. This is obviously a less important time, but it's one of those times where I really wish my father were alive so I could be like, hey, dude, was this shit that confusing to you when you were my age? Like, was my generation, were you looking at like us and going, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like we are right now. Right. Because to me, sticking a condom in one of your nostrils, right? Let's not even talk about like the fact that they're like actually trying to suck that fucker up there, right? But like, even
and
to just be like,
no doubt, you know.
Yeah, like at any point that you saw a condom, have you ever been like, I'm just gonna put this near my face? You know what I mean? Like, let's stick this right up here somewhere.
I think possibly smelling a condom when I first started like having sex on the reg. I think like
I'm pretty sure I smelled my hand after.
Yeah, because you can smell it. It gives off like
it's like a weird, and I think it's the fucking. I mean, I don't know. I haven't touched one in quite some time, but it just
rock. Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
it's just you got to give it up.
So it's like being grown, bitch.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh man.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but it is like a little.
I got a vasectomy on my fucking list too. You know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Guess what? Just bust right up in it, dog.
Yeah, dude. Hey.
All dogging and just like you figure that shit.
Yeah.
Figure
out how to deal with that one, sweetheart. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go wash my dick off.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking great, dude. Anyway, yeah. Given the fact that we haven't used one in quite some time, I remember, and it gives.
I do remember. Yeah, I remember him being a little fucking weird. But yeah, I mean, I just and actually, now that we're just talking about condoms here, dude, the lambskin ones. All right, like I never actually
Amish condoms or whatever. the
Yeah,
fuck.
like I never actually used it. What happened is they were like handing out condoms. Remember during the like late 90s, like
Yeah,
early
yeah,
2000s, they had that big push of like, oh, we just hand out condoms at places.
yeah, like if you lived in a bigger area, they
Yeah.
might have done it at your high school and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
and see, it actually wasn't in my high school that they did it. It was actually at a club that I went to that they were like passing them out while we were there or whatever. But
it's like, yeah, we're doing X, but we're also trying to be
you
safe.
know what I mean? But be safe. You know what I mean? Like, be safe with your MDMA. You know what I mean? And I remember like getting, I'm like got a little fucking, like 3 condoms in my hand or whatever, and seeing one that was lambskin, and I'm like, what? So I just opened it just to, hey, what
Feel
the
it?
fuck, right? Like, what? This is made out of like, in my head too. I'm like, this is like it's some sick shit, really, in my head. Like, you're like, wait, you took the skin off of another animal to put it around your dick.
Right, like they did in the olden days, was
Dude,
make it out of lamb intestines. That's what they used to do.
God, dude! Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Dude. I didn't look into the history of it
Your
like that.
pussy wasn't stinky enough. You know?
Yeah, dude. Like, no, I mean, who's the first bitch though that was like when a guy was like, "Hold on, I'm gonna, let me grab this this tuft of skin I cut off of my barnyard animal here and throw it over my dick before I fuck you." You know what I mean? What was the chick that was like, yeah, that seems reasonable. Like, why wouldn't you put a dead animal's skin over your dick before you had sex?
Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Dude, there's no, like, it's just a weird thing that started. Like, we can't.
Dude,
that's a fucked up thing. Like,
it's got time, man. You know, like we used to jump over fucking the bonfire and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have like a stool near the fire where everybody was sitting down or whatever, and you might launch yourself over a bonfire. Somebody fall half-ass in it every once in a while.
Somebody shoot a bottle rocket at somebody every now and then, shit like that, you know?
You fucking throw a lighter in the fire. Like, I don't know. A lot of my shit's bonfire fucking, stories or whatever for stuff like that. But yeah, man,
it's nuts, dude. But I've just never been sitting around.
You know,
I've just never been sitting around and been like, dude, hey, bro, you know what'd be crazy, man, is if you could snort a condom all the way through your nose. You know what I mean? And not only that, but friends with somebody who was like, no, bullshit, I could do it. You know what I mean? Like I could, I could do that. Like, you've got that. I don't know, man. That's some crazy shit. Just to get the first person to do it, I feel like is the deal. And then who's the fucking lemmings that saw somebody and was like, oh yeah, no, fuck that, I could do it too.
A bunch of trendy fucks. First off,
I mean, you got like Elon Musk is launching fucking rockets off to Mars, and these people are like, I'm gonna fucking emulate that dude that shoved that condom up his nose.
Right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's much less filming it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We were also the last generation of fucking kids. Maybe the people that like the half generation just under us. Because I mean, honestly, until like 2000, like, past our college years, and not until like our mid 20s could you start like taking like video really.
Yeah.
With
like, reasonable. Like, you could get it on your phone, but it was like
it's camcorder, and I did a lot of shit off of that camcorder that was fucking.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, do you remember when camcorders got the night vision fucking option?
I
and
had
it was
one.
like, oh, dude, yeah. I remember having one and thinking I was like so technologically advanced. Like, dude, look, everything's green, bro. I can see everything. You know, like all of it. Yeah, it was amazing. Now you can do that shit with the little phone that you have in your hand. Like, oh, it's stupid, dude. It really is. But motherfuckers don't appreciate that shit.
Continuing with this here is that a lot of this stuff, like we heard the Tide Pod thing, started from just somebody that was like joking on fucking Reddit. So it's like, you can, like, how these trends start is
You can
because
fucking cull society.
somebody
With a
is
stupid
stupid
idea.
enough. Somebody is stupid enough to follow. Like, do you know how many asinine, crazy things I've thought of that I've left on comments on
Oh, yeah.
Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, etc. That like it's just like something that's like, what's the wildest thing you can think of? You know. So I put it down. Somebody actually takes some of that shit and runs with it to where it's like a national epidemic amongst fucking young kids.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know?
a fucking problem. Yeah.
Right. You used to play Don't Get Your Girlfriend Pregnant. Like, I remember that game, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember snorting fucking condoms.
Yeah,
Or
like
eating
go use that on somebody. What are you doing? Like, yeah.
I think the worst I saw, I think the worst that we had, and I never did it, but people that would snort pixie sticks and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. There was those people. I was never one of those guys either, but yeah, I've known some folks.
I think that was probably like the fucking climax of that shit.
Yeah, but I think really for the most part with that, at least that's something still that's not like at the most part that stings a little bit, right? Like you're not.
But you don't get a sugar high from snorting fucking pixie sticks.
No, definitely not. But I mean, here's the thing: like you're not getting a fucking spermicide high off of fucking shoving a goddamn fucking condom in your nose either. You know.
That was the other thing I was thinking of, and I was like, dude, spermicide and other whatever they use, other thing else they use for lubrication for those things.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how bad that fucking smells going from your nose to your mouth?
God, yeah. No, I mean, dude, have you ever had like a bad texture in your mouth, right? Like a fucking eating like that's what got me is I'm like, dude, wait, that sounds like fucking running, like, you know, the snot that comes off of clams, like when you after you're eating some fucking like oysters, you know what I mean, or whatever, and you got like that's the not the meaty part of it, but the leftover, right? It's like you just got a cup of the leftover shit and just poured it in your nose, like, and that would just run through your whole nasal cavity. Yeah,
you gotta stop.
That's what I'm saying. That's fucking terrible.
But I also had that thing. I don't know. It's like one of those like impulsive things, and like it's I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I think everybody, almost close to everybody, knows what I'm talking about. When you just think of something that's like, if you see somebody like eat something or like bite a hold of like bite a hold of a napkin or whatever, and you get that get it, like you got that psychosomatic thing where I'll start rubbing my fucking teeth and shit like I got a fucking gummer in my fingers, you know, Coke or something. You know, like I'm like like scraping your tongue, like and it just makes me cringe when you think of like biting a hold of like a fucking furniture material or like a cottony something, or you see what I'm saying?
Or like a condom, yeah,
or whatever, like same principle. Like I get like like I can almost taste it in my mouth. It's completely a psychosomatic thing. Like when you think like you're itching because there's bugs around, you know.
No,
but
I mean, I just I think really my thing was like when we were younger, and not even just when we were younger. In general, it's fun to do stupid shit because you think it'll be funny, right? Like. But snorting a condom isn't even funny. Like it's not even funny. You're just like, well, that's terrible. Why are you doing that? It's not even like, you know what I mean? Like the first guy that snorted the pixie stick, like you were saying, right? Like was still probably like, oh, bro, you probably get a sugar high. You know what I mean? Like that was probably how that started. You know what I mean? Whereas like snorting a condom is literally just, this isn't supposed to go in your nose. Let's put it there. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean, there's no other thing.
If my kids were following a trend that they fucking made social media, like their fucking shit would be gone. You know?
Yeah. Go ahead and cut that off.
But like I had to take my daughter's tablet away because she just refuses to fucking follow the rules and thinks she's smarter than the rest of us, and she's like just one of those girls that gets caught at everything she's doing.
Dude, yeah.
But like I tell you what I would do. I would project this up on my garage. I'd move the cars out of the garage and just play her fucking whatever minute and a half, 2 minute video of her doing this on a fucking loop and have her sit out there with me. And we just watch it over and over again. I just project my garage. That's what I would do.
Dude, yeah, it'd be great. Like, just put it on a loop. I can upload it to Instagram and just let it go.
Anyway, once again, these kids are dumb, and I'm sure the memes aren't even close to being done yet on that one.
They can't be, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll work on it, and like I said, I'm rolling with it. I would still like to, and I guess it doesn't matter. I pulled enough stuff that's gonna get us flagged or not, depending on how.
We'll just let it roll, man. See what happens. I mean, I think really the way it's going is
a new I don't want to have to go get us to do a new channel because
I don't think it would. I don't think. And now I'd have to go and I'm sure I couldn't even figure it out if I started going actually and reading the terms and conditions thoroughly. But I don't think it gets the channel shut down. I think it would get the episode removed or something like that. And even then, if it gets the episode removed. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I could deal with one episode getting removed, but even then, I think I haven't tested it but it has the option, like when you hit a copyright thing, that you can hit delete content. I could just and so
because that's a time.
If I could just hit delete content, then it would just be like, boom, just remove that song from there. Then cool.
The audio skips, but we still have the graphic up, and we're not.
It would basically just go silent like it does when we mute it manually. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm willing to give it a chance.
If that's the case, fucking do it.
Yeah, if it was going to be a huge pain in my ass, I would still be saying, no, let's not do it. You know what I mean?
All right, killers. We'll be back in the next handful of minutes, taking you back to, man, what is this? 97, 98, right? And then
good years, dog. Good years.
More shit. Stay tuned. More post politics coming up next.
That I got, cause all the geeks that I meet, they all look cooler than me. But what to do when they're all looking at you, cause you're the freak of the week, cause you're on the TV. Can you make me a promise? Stop it before we begin. Will you hold on to my hand if I ever lose it again? Elvis, I think he wears the coolest suede shoes. We're not coming with the blues. He thinks it's all about culture and art, but the truth of it is that it rips me apart. Can you make me a promise? Stop it before we begin. Will you hold on to my hand if I ever lose it again? That I got, cause all the geeks that I meet, they all look cooler than me. But what to do when they're all looking at you, cause you're the freak of the week. Tell me you're right. Can you make me a promise? Stop it before we begin. Will you hold on to my hand if I ever lose it again?
From the bottom of my lungs, a nigga be blowing, spitting this game. Coming up on you from the south, the ATLians ain't changed. Cooler than most players claim to be. A nigga that from the A-Town C, the home of the bacon bound. Coming to road in other city streets, enough of the morality, fallacy, but if we speak non-fiction. People that pulling your guards, slicking and Jerry curves, you bitches. Every time I rhyme for y'all, I'm looking to prove a point. Kicking a freestyle every now and then, but mostly after joint. See, I smoke good, cause see it go good with them flows. Why? The nigga that B.I.G. like Tony Rich, nobody knows why. But me and my folks, cause y'all niggas joke just like the Joker. I'm sick of these whack-ass rappers like I'm tired of hoes with chokers.
Who them boys that be having it crunk every occasion? This side niggas dustin', that side niggas lacing. But in the middle we stay calm, we just drop bombs. Asking where we come from, South Coast slums.
Just two dope boys in a Cadillac. It's just two dope boys in a Cadillac.
This old sucker MC stepped up to me, challenged Andre to a battle, and I stood there patiently as he spit and stumbled over cliches, so-called freestyling. Whole purpose is to make me feel look. I guess he wild, and I say, look, why I ain't for that fuck shit. So fuck this, let me explain only child style so you don't miss. I grew up to myself, not round no park bench. That's a nigga busting flows off in the apartments.
Now who them boys that be having it crunk every occasion? This side niggas dustin', that side niggas lacing. But in the middle we stay calm, we just drop bombs. Asking where we come from, South Coast slums.
Just two dope boys in a Cadillac. It's just two dope boys in a Cadillac.
It goes Broms to the Fleetwoods, Coops to the Beatles. Haters the boats and all these flows, we having a play a chill. In this atmosphere, this ain't no practice here, we cutting the food now. I'm doing you at the house and throwing you out because I'm due now. Don't you love the way we claiming bankhead, stankhead? Looking around the swat for the herb that's never tainted. Fainted when you heard the bourbon serving on the block. And all you biting individuals need to check yourself and stop.
Yeah, tight like nuts and bolts, sluts and hoes that get evicted. I'm dealing with queens and my castle ain't worth it to risk it. Now tricks be looking at me like I'm they way about the projects. Can't put you on my payroll, and no, I ain't got no Rolex or no diamond at the exit with a sign saying we're a rapper fool. My face is balled up cause I ain't in a happy mood, while my partner got the squeegee and the Windex. Cause somewhere in my life I done went wrong just like a syntax error. Bring the terror to your dome like PE. Gonna finish this out because this beat a free style.
Now who them boys that be having it crunk every occasion? This side niggas dustin', that side niggas lacing. But in the middle we stay calm, we just drop.
All right, everybody, back at it. Post politics.
Dude, I can't even express how much I fucking am, how happy I am that you played Old School Outcast.
Sure.
I was just, dude, I heard it start and I was like, yes.
Yeah, right. That's what we try to do.
It's
here.
perfect.
Like, yes. I know a handful of these songs we play. Just not only that, but like, it's like I can either play like one Metallica song or Iron Maiden song, or I can play two, like, you know, punk or rap, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a time limit fucking thing, you know, for us. But so I came across this, and this broke Sunday while we were on air. We didn't get to it. Girls organize walkout in support of Second Amendment in Florida. I think we covered this a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's, I mean, these girls got it going on.
Yeah, dude. That's a pretty big deal, dude. Especially when you see, like, I mean, and I know we've mentioned this too, but I mean, like, when you see the David Hogg kid, like when you see him going off, you're like, God, dude, there has to be somebody on the other side of this. That can't just be the only voice from that generation on things.
Right.
So it's kind of, I mean, it's nice to see. And obviously they had the conservative kid too that was from Parkland High School or whatever, but
but guess what coverage that kid got?
Yeah, like next to nothing. Yeah.
So, you know, I think which something
these girls really didn't get much either, but
we brought this up on Sunday night, so we're kind of springboarding off of that and like leading that down the line for the rest of a lot of our discussion tonight. But you know, we played some of the stuff from that on Sunday, but what we didn't talk about is the you know, how voices, I'm not going to say voices are silenced, but how like an agenda pushing narrative, if you have the backing, it will always get ruined. You know, you look at Occupy Wall Street, you look at the Million Mask March stuff, you know, and the Tea Party stuff. You know, it's both sides of the aisle. This is not a Republican or Democrat or left or right.
I'd say actually it's both sides of the aisle with anything that seems like it could almost be gray area, middle ground, reasonable shit.
Absolutely.
Like that's, I mean, because if you're extreme already, it doesn't seem to get co-opted, right? Like it doesn't seem like if you're just already an extreme thing that's just a fucking extremist, it doesn't seem like it really ever gets taken away because there's no need to, right? There's no need to co-opt or
if you go, wow, people are really catching on to this, as opposed to this is a and this is a problem versus we'll let them fade out gracefully.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I look, dude, I was involved with the Tea Party movement. I took my daughter to Tea Party rallies when it was the Ron Paul thing, when it had just gotten started up by Ron Paul, and it was, I mean, dude, I was fresh out of the military, and it was like just the Ron Paul thing. I mean, and that's actually the first time I saw him speak was at the horse track in Houston, and he actually came out and spoke, and that was the first little event. I took my daughter to it and everything like that. And I want to say probably 4 to 6 months after that, the Tea Party very much became something that I didn't want to be involved in anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it was just, I mean, it was that fucking quick, dude. I mean, it was within less than a year for sure. I could be off on my time a little bit, but it was definitely within less than a year.
No, I would say less than a year. Because as soon as I wasn't in that arena, you know what I mean? Like I live in a different part of the country or whatever. So it's like that was something that really sprouted locally heavy early on.
Yeah.
And then by the time it really started to catch wind, the tide already seemed to be turning.
Yeah,
like,
by the time it really caught, and that's really what it was. It was as soon as it really got, when it seemed like it was going to be something that was definitely going to catch on. It was definitely it was more than likely going to make some changes,
right?
At least in perception of like the perception of society, what society was looking at politics as. It seemed like it got snagged.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, and like I said, that we'll point out something like the Tea Party for the right and something like Occupy for the left. It's like as soon as that stuff got to catch on, and it was like, no, absolutely. Republicans, Democrats, fucking middle of the road people were all calling for these fucking bankers' heads when we all lost our shit, you know, in 2008.
Yeah, I would even say, and probably to a little bit lesser of a degree and all, but I think as well, fucking Black Lives Matter. I mean, like, I think that intentionally, like, it could have easily been somebody who was just like, hey, man, you know, saw what was going on and was like, you know, said Black Lives Matter, and it was immediately like then you had which obviously I agree that before you even say that, I agree though that saying Black Lives Matter is a divisive fucking thing to begin with, right?
But
I think that it just...
I don't think that they had the organization, and I've never heard anybody...
No, but Occupy didn't have the organization. Even then, the Tea Party didn't have the organization. Anything that's really a roots, a grassroots thing is not going to have the organization. And mainly because of the fact that grassroots movements are regular fucking people just going, yeah, this is fucked up, and I want something to be reasonably changed, you know?
Even at the grassroots level, I don't see Black Lives Matter being well thought out as far as what they were doing at a grassroots level.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that that's, you know, whatever, it's Black Lives Matter, so it's, you know, fucked up because
because I do actually believe that,
or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
I believe in its inception, it was probably a good idea. I really do. Like, in its inception, I think that it was honestly somebody reacting to what was going on. I mean, especially because of the fact that you know, at the time when it started, there was like 5 black guys in the media that had just been killed and 1 white guy, right? So it wasn't like a
media wise.
media wise. That's what I'm talking about.
that's another failure of fucking media where it's
absolutely. But most of our society is a failure of media. You know, I mean, if you look at the school, like what we were talking about earlier when we opened up, right? The school shooting and the 600,000 kids that go missing a year, right? So wait, 17 kids get shot and it's a fucking national outcry. 600,000 kids go missing and nobody talks about it.
To talk about it, yeah.
So it is a failure of media, just regardless, because they're just going out for the thing that can get the biggest fucking pop. That they can just
I think it's time to throw our hat back into activism, Zach. I think we should start lobbying the milk companies instead of your cute little cow logos and what have you. We need to start putting kids back on. Feeder needs to be direct. Every time I fucking pour my kid the cereal, I need to see that
your kid needs to know that he may not get his next bowl of cereal.
And then I need to just place the milk carton down on the fucking counter the way my parents did and go like, yeah, keep not listening.
Yeah.
Keep down this path. That's where you'll land.
You're going, this will be the last milk carton you ever see, kid. Yeah.
Right. You're going to be on this next week if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half joking about that, though, but like we saw kids on milk cartons when we were kids. It was like, holy shit. They had the Soul Asylum video, it was like, holy shit, man. People go fucking missing, like.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Kids. So, hey, stranger danger. Stay close to your parents. Maybe,
shit.
Something. It's like, I know it. You can't even work an iPhone, or whatever. Whatever these little bastards.
Yeah. Shut up! I'm snorting condoms. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Jesus. Worst we wanted was to be left alone so we could surf. Fucking
dude,
a porn picture.
Yeah, you could take 45 minutes to check out a chick's tits.
Yeah, 9.5 minutes to upload a picture.
Oh man, yeah.
Who wants your tits?
Yeah, kids these days will never have to appreciate the imagination of masturbation, right?
Jeez, and it really does come back to that. Like, I don't think that masturbatory fucking initiative sort of comes across the modern day children. It's like it does.
You guys aren't even trying.
Exactly. Just fucking click at a fingertip. You can find the most fucked up shit you can possibly.
Oh, dude. Nah, man. I mean, you could get you fucking hate yourself before you're there wasn't there was ideas now are introduced to you on the internet that you would have never had.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're like, whoa, how did I get to that? That's not a related video. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
And I like that shit as part of joke writers too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There's very few comedians that I've heard go, man, the people that listen to this show or this podcast, because that's a lot of what I listen to, regardless of what they're into. I listen to a lot of podcasts by comedians.
Yeah,
or radio shows that
whether they're liberal, conservative, or politics at all or anything. Yeah,
comedians.
Yeah.
So they really give a lot of credit to people that write comments and make memes and stuff, and they're like, that's fucking funny. Like we got a fucking funny audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
There's a lot of people that aren't on Front Street like that, but are fans of these types of shows that are genuinely funny fucking people.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I think that's something that's
the humor has been drawn out of everything important. We sit here and try to make jokes about what we can about very serious related issues.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to consider the fact that at this point, for the most part, dude, everybody in society now knows that it's I hate to say just to boil it down to something that simple, but it's just kind of all bullshit. Everybody knows that nothing's really getting taken care of like it's supposed to. Nothing's actually, you know what I mean? There's not. Everybody knows that now. It's not a mystery, right? And to say that here's the thing: people knew that the government was fucking people over 30 years ago, right? But
50 years ago,
yeah, fucking 100 years ago, whatever. But you didn't have proof like you do now,
right?
You couldn't. you couldn't go look up Operation Northwoods and fucking,
Yeah.
the Gulf of Tonkin and shit like that. You couldn't just see, oh wait, the government says they did this. Like you couldn't, but now you can go look and see. Like no, they said they did that. That's
Right.
They
It's
said
like,
that they
oh,
were going to kill Americans to attack Cuba. They said that they were going to do that.
What are we going to do about the Cuban Missile Crisis now? What are we going to do
Yeah.
about paperclip now? What are we going to the Gulf of Tonkin now? It's 50 years ago.
Yeah, and so you couldn't do that back then. Like it was, even if somebody said, I mean, think about it, dude. If somebody said that to you when we were kids, right? If somebody was like, "Hey, look, man, did you know they were gonna, the American government was going to kill a bunch of Americans to attack Cuba?" You could say, if you said, "Nah, bullshit, dude." Even to prove him wrong, you were going to have to go to a library, find a book that actually disclosed that information.
Sure.
And fuck it, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like that. You couldn't
And
just
not only that, but like there was and I guess media in and of itself has been a great push as to what I've done and what initially got me started. Like I was always kind of like fuck the government, anarchy, punk rock, fucking kid or whatever, but like the other thing, and not only that, just through the music I listened to, divulged a lot of that where it was like, man, that got you thinking on another level, dude. You talk about like listening to bands like Pennywise and fucking Bad Religion, and then, you know what I mean? Like they just divulged some shit that would kind of get you thinking in that direction.
Yeah, even, hey, dude, they're leftist as shit, but Rage Against the Machine, dude, I guarantee you that was like a doorway to a lot of kids.
A lot of people. Yeah, for sure. So, but I guess what I was trying to say there is that for somebody headed down that line, I guess that's why I delved more into conspiracy-esque things when I was a little bit younger, like when I first started to kind of catch my wings about a lot of this stuff. But it's also like, well, all of my intuition led me to go, holy shit, what I was just thinking with very little information that I did have.
Yeah.
The things that I was thinking, the things the media was showing me, and me going, that doesn't make no sense. It really
Why would they do that? Yeah.
I found out later I was very much valid in my thoughts by that don't make no sense, because it was like, no, that's really is how it went down, and then more information comes out about, whatever you have. But of course, most of it is revolved around domestic issues, Waco, Oklahoma City, 9/11, et cetera, these not just false flag terror events, but like how, governments manipulate things.
Yeah, I mean, just the way that real stories, real events, the way that they're explained,
unleashed.
Yeah, the way that they're delivered to people is fucked up, and I think that's something that really isn't covered enough. Like, and actually, I would say that it's almost blatantly ignored at this point, right?
Because what's happening now is that opinion run media shit is like, don't get me wrong, it's important to have the conversation. You're not going to get that on mainstream media of any kind. You're just not going to have two people doing like what we do, having a conversation about it in a realistic form. It's going to be like, here's the story. Now, never mind the story is full of holes. Let's discuss the story that's full of holes from our standpoint. Go. That's media now. It was never like that. Fucking Walter Cronkite never said, here's how I think about the Vietnam War. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, like, actually, no, that was very much some shit you do not say.
Right.
Like, do not give your opinion. Are you fucking crazy? That's not your job.
And if Walter Cronkite came out and goes, Nixon's full of shit, like, it's just...
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, like, dude, if you listen to just some of this shit, you know what? I gotta give it to a show that I actually never watch anything like that. So I know it's a liberal show, but I was watching just going through, really just had YouTube playing in the background, right? And just kind of going through whatever.
You don't have to apologize, just whatever.
Yeah, and so no, the Morning Joe show, which I think is like MSNBC. or something like that. It's one of those, right? I know it's CNN or MSNBC or one of those. And dude, it was actually what it was is I was watching Ben Shapiro debates, and because dude, I love watching that guy.
Dude, you get into those Ben Shapiro.
Dude, that guy doing debates, man, I love it, man. Because he's very much got the same sense of just talking to people in a debate like I do. Like it's very much a like, no, dude, like I'm not gonna. Here's the deal. If you want to attack me, I'll have that debate, but I'm not going to go ad hominem on you. I'm not going to attack you personally. When you attack me personally, I'm going to call you on it, and then I'm going to point out your fucking flawed idea, you know?
Not that, but like I'm not having time to entertain your emotional notion of things.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like what I will say quite plainly, well, what about this? This is a fact.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's I think too, the thing that some people don't realize too, and we're getting off onto another thing with this, but
that's that time.
But yeah, there's a lot of I think people that you get into debates with, close-minded people, really, that you get into arguments with or discussions with or whatever you want to call it, that they've never had to change their worldview because they were looking for truth rather than just to confirm what they already
fucking argue.
You know, just to validate what they were saying, right? And I think that for those of us that have, right, for those of us that had to actually go, fuck, man, I agree with this. Like, one of my biggest things was with abortion was actually something that, like, in my head, like, no, I was like, dude, I disagree with abortion. I don't think it's. But then I started thinking about it, and I started looking at it logically, and I started being like, man, fuck, dude, I still don't agree with it. All right, like and having to make that choice in your head where you decided that, hey, look, me morally and personally, I do not agree with this, but I do not believe that it's my right to fucking tell somebody else that, or to force somebody else not to be able to do this. It just,
you know what I do?
It's
do
that kind of shit.
Like I said, I do my part. You know why? Because I don't fucking kill my kids. All right.
Yeah.
So
and that's dude,
I don't do that. So guess what? I'm doing my part. That's what I'm fucking responsible for. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, there's people that I've come across that have killed every last one of their kids. You know?
No, dude, I know. Yeah.
And then we have friends like Jordan Page who continues to wreck his wife's womb.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking a whole litter like that, like we live in 1907 and half of them might
like
die.
He's just trying to keep the human race going. Yeah.
So you know, like it's if that was 120 years ago, it was like you had that many because you expected half of them to die before, you know.
Yeah, and they're dying of dysentery on your way to Oregon, you know.
Exactly. You know, you might drown in that fucking river you got to cross. I hope you got enough oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. I've played this game before, sir.
Right. We used to play Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
The life game.
Yeah. Have you ever watched your entire family die in a light green line? Yeah.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like you do your part by fucking whatever kind of, especially amongst social issues. It's just like, you know what? I do my part by fucking saying this is my set of morals, and I'm not gonna tell you. Like I'll tell.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if we're gonna have this discussion in that same thing, I will say, hey, look, but you can't tell me that you're not murdering, or you're not ending a human life. Don't tell me that you're not ending a human life. If we're going to have a real reality conversation about this, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. But don't just, you know, oh, I'm aborting the pregnancy. No, you're not. You're killing a person. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But, and I'm not going to say that you can't, all right? You can do that,
sure.
But let's just be honest about what it is that you're doing. Let's not... Right? So let's make this conversation 100% honest, and that's cool. Not going to say you can't do it, but don't desensitize it to the effect that you change the meaning of what is really happening. It's that whole idea with taxation is theft and shit like that.
And like I've had this discussion with people that are like, you know, the whole don't like, oh, you didn't see that, but that caught me a lot of heat, mostly good. Um, shit, man, how long ago was that? It wasn't too long ago, a couple weeks tops. But I was like, I threw out a post that was like, vegans complain or vegans don't eat eggs.
Oh man, no, I already see where you're going with it, and yes,
Like I was like, but it was like I didn't say anything about abortion, but it was hinted to. God
Yeah.
damn, I wish I could remember that.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, you need to, because hey, look,
I'll
as long
look
as we're
it up.
playing full songs on break and shit, we could just start sticking shit like that up there on the.
I'll look it up during break, but it was fucking like I was really proud of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
hell yeah.
I was like, vegans.
No, I see where you're
don't eat-
going, and it's actually awesome because I haven't even thought about that. That's yeah.
I said vegan something along the. It was very short. It was something like vegans don't eat eggs.
Because they're animal. Yeah, because it's an animal product, right?
Right. Or I attached that's what it was. I don't even have to look it up. I can remember it now. I said pro-choice liberal vegans don't eat eggs. Let that sink in.
Yeah, dude. That's fucked up, man.
So-
No, that's actually, man, Trip, I got to be honest with you. That's the first time I think that you've said something to me that
oh damn, kid.
that like I straight up I hadn't even considered, like I'd never even considered that. That was like, I mean, yeah, that's really good.
But I let it hang there just because I said let that sink in.
No, it's good. Don't even make the argument. Let them realize how fucking
Exactly.
ridiculous that is. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, why don't you eat eggs?
Yeah,
well, that's
why not?
Well, that's not a potential human, is
Oh
it?
yeah, is that a yeah? It's not a that's not a potential animal, right? That's not going to be a cow one day, right? Or it's not a cow. No, it's not because they don't lay eggs.
Could
Yeah, it's not going to be a chicken.
But that's what I'm saying. If it ain't sat on, if it was fertilized.
No, but cows don't sit. They don't lay eggs.
No, I'm
That's
not
what I was
talking
getting
about
at.
cows. I get you. But yeah, no, I just like kind of let that hang there. So I'm not gonna have like this big, abortion discussion or whatever. But
no,
I
don't. Yeah,
that was the post. And honestly, if you didn't see that and you're listening to the show, like I'm sure you've had time to think about it while we're talking. But yeah, pro-choice liberal vegans don't eat eggs. Let that sink in for you, for real.
Fucked up, dude. Man, dude. Yeah, that's well done, sir. Well fucking done. I never even considered that. That's like some shit. Like, no, now like I really wish that there was a pro-choice vegan around me, just so I could see that argument come to fruition. You know.
I didn't get really a lot. I got a shit ton of likes and stuff on it, but I didn't get
no. Here's the thing that I've realized.
Any opposition,
And I won't just say liberals. I'll say and. Now, I will say 100%, it's more from liberals than from any other, political ideology that I ever get. But most people, when you give them a straight up logical fucking deal that you're like, no, tell me this is fucking different. People shut the fuck up.
Either that or they double down on their fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah. And that's really when if you're calling out somebody, they usually will double down. If they're seeing you say it, they'll ignore it. You know what I mean?
In order to make themselves more stupid, they can't stop. They just can't.
Oh, dude,
stop.
That's the most beautiful thing in the world, though.
Double down crazy.
Yeah, double down fucking nutso argument is the best.
Right. So yeah. Anyway, fuck those fucking stupid people. I guess.
Stupid motherfuckers.
You dummy. You
stupid. Go eat an egg, you fucking sorry bastard.
Good for you.
I'm going to pick a fight.
All right.
Yes.
All right. We're going to hit our top of the hour break here, and we will be back. This is a new one out of Machine Head. I think this album just dropped, but I love this track.
Oh, dude, I haven't heard Machine Head in like at least 6 years. So
I think I played it on the Friday Night Super Show, but I've got this, and we haven't played it yet, I don't think, on this show, but this is off of the new Machine Head record. I heard it on the Liquid Metal channel on Sirius, so I was like, oh damn, Machine Head's back, motherfucker. You know, one of those types.
That's it.
It's a good track. All right, so we'll come back with that, and I don't know. I'll leave it up in the air, but we'll play this for right now. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Everybody, stay tuned. More post politics coming up next.
I am skin and bones, broken stone. See the scars that I show. I live outside the bounds in the unknown. I can't ingratiate to the hate, cause their world suffocates. Carve my own path and form my destiny shade. The rain is falling down upon me. Beyond the veil, I found salvation, emancipation. Beyond the veil, I found my heroes, the freaks and heroes. I live outside the lines, got no time for the willfully blind. I'll build a wall of mine, staff on its size. I'll break down every wall, fight and claw, take their punches, stand tall. My middle finger raised, so fuck them all. The rain is falling down upon me. Beyond the veil, I found salvation, emancipation. Beyond the veil, I found my heroes, the freaks and heroes.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Back in it.
Man, I really enjoyed that. Thoroughly.
What do you think about that Machine Head song, dude? That's
Dude,
pretty-
yeah, no. That entire break, I was a fan. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. I guess let's get
I don't
into
know
this.
what I'd do if I ever had to just have you not introducing new fucking music to me anymore. It bothered me.
Yeah. I've always been that guy for my friends.
100%. Since I've known you, you've been that guy. So
Right.
I'd have to assume it was that before as
Okay.
well.
So let's give into this crazy ass
Let's
bitch.
do this.
Okay. In one online rant, she complained that YouTube censored her content by opposing an age restriction on one of her workout videos because they were too racy. She says the company failed to do the same thing for stars like Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj, whose videos she says are inappropriate for children, which is true.
Yeah, 100% true. Yeah.
But yeah, guess what? The ad revenue that fucking YouTube makes off of Miley's.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, bitch. That's
guess-
one of those things. No, I
it's just
totally.
an argument. That's the only valid
Listen,
argument.
hey, pat on the back for her. Yeah, but that's one of those like, no, you're right, sweetheart, but you're not Miley Cyrus or Nicki Minaj though.
But here,
like, that's one of those like,
that's
not who you are though.
This woman's batshit crazy. If you look at any of her videos or whatever,
I'm sure.
But that it really is like the only valid argument here. YouTube, Twitter, etc. won't come out and say, "Hey, we're a bunch of cunts," right?
Which is yeah.
Like
Just
we're
admit
a
it.
bunch of, like, look, no, you know why? Because you don't have YouTube would never release a fucking statement saying sorry because these people are commodities. You're not, which has propelled that whole condom snorting thing that we talked about earlier. Like this all ties in because this generation of people is
It's all
like
the same kind of stupid.
don't get me wrong. Once again, like we've got this radio show, we've got the YouTube channel, and it's like we want to get out to people, but like it's not our main bag. It's
I don't even think that that's arguable. There's neither one of us are looking for this to be our thing.
Right.
You know,
I'm not sticking M80s up my ass and lighting them so I can get more YouTube.
No. Like, here's the thing. I'm one of those people that like, hey, look, if it takes off, it takes off. If not, I'm doing this because I enjoy this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We did what we can, but it's like, oh, what are we doing? Or like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, we want to reach more people, but it's also like, we're being suppressed on every level as well. But it's like, we understand that this show is not for everybody, but I think that this show definitely, for at least our hardcore listeners, we definitely have a niche audience that could be. There's a lot. More.
I think it would be a lot more. I think it's a lot broader than is reflected, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit. You've got an entire generation of people that, well, and it's not crazy, right? Like, I mean, you've had you had a comedy boom in the 90s. You've had you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of little different booms that happen depending on what year you're in or what generation you're in. You know what I mean? Like if you look at like what was it, late 90s maybe, something like that, where it was like Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Every channel had a comedy night, right?
Yeah. Early 2000s is when that really kind of got put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just been times. There's times where shit blows up. Now, what I do think is fucked up of YouTube is they have recently they let a bunch of regular people think that they could become superstars on this venue, and then
in general, I mean, it's social media,
and then they absolutely removed it. They absolutely went, okay, listen, now people can see you, but you aren't gonna get paid for it anymore. Unless you go appeal to one of the corporations to sponsor you or us, right? Like somebody's got to sponsor you or you're not going to quite hit what you were trying to hit.
Well, like I know
because
a guy.
we're gonna find multiple ways to fucking demonetize you to make sure that you're not making money off of this.
But there's also like an audience type deal. Now, for something that's not offensive in the least bit, not doing anything with copyright shit or whatever.
No, for stupid shit.
Well, hear me out. Like I've got a friend of mine, a guy I know whose uncle was able to retire early because he started like when YouTube first popped, like it's like 2007, 2008, started who's tech savvy, the uncle of this guy.
Yeah.
I know that has like a do it yourself, like a life hack type of channel.
No, if you've got a do-it-yourself channel, you're pretty much made because that's something that's never going to be offensive. It's never going to push the envelope. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's never going to be.
That, it's like have a show me how to work on my F-150 fucking video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that shit will get fucking. If you got the top comments on that stuff and the top viewership on that, that's gonna pop up if you type in.
Oh yeah, no, I'll tell you right now, dude. I mean, I was a mechanic for fucking 7 years, and I still, like, if I go to do something on a vehicle that I haven't worked on before,
right?
Before I even go do it, I look up on YouTube the location or the easiest way to remove whatever it is that I'm fucking with.
Sure.
Just because, like, every vehicle is a little bit different, and it's like, hey, look, I know there's a million people out there that have already done this, and somebody's posted them doing it on YouTube.
Right.
So I'm just going to go ahead and see where they fucked up so that way I don't fuck up that same way. You know what I mean?
That guy, the guy's uncle got to retire early because that's his living now. Like he makes enough money. He's got like a little over a million and a half subscribers or something like that. You know what I mean?
Which is awesome, but that used to be a lot more money than it is now.
Sure, absolutely.
And I think, like, I understand things change, right? So I'm not, pulling some crybaby shit. It just, it is fucked up once you see it become like, it's when you watch YouTube become ABC kind of deal, right? Like, but they even at that point become the ABC that doesn't like really back their people, right? Like they're
right. Now,
it's one of those kind of deals.
Man, you know what? If we have time tonight, I'd like to get into a little bit of that Laura Ingraham boycott shit and some backlash. I didn't even have an article pulled for it, but I could find one.
I haven't read any articles on it, but I have actually watched 3 or 4 videos on it. So I mean,
but moving along here, she goes on to quote, "There's no equal growth opportunity on YouTube." On her personal webpage, she posted a rant about YouTube saying, "Beware, there is no free speech in a real world, and you will be suppressed for telling the truth that is not supported by the system. Videos of targeted users are filtered and merely regulated so that people can hardly see their videos." This all happens to be true, but there's just a handful of this stuff that
it's all true, but it's not. Here's the thing: it's all true, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think that's what's fucked up. I think that's what. It's the same reason why I'm not making a fucking steady argument as to certain shit on that or with that same thing. Like it's like but you're just ultimately it comes down to you're just being a crybaby.
Right.
Like I get it. Like I understand. Like, yeah, no, wait. So what you're saying is only the popular people get watched, things like that. Like, no, I mean I get it, but you're just fucking whining is what's happening. Like I get that. Well, then figure out how to become one of those people or shut up because you can't. It's just the way it is.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I'll go back to what we're doing here because it's most relevant, and we're not being we're not being crybabies, and we're not being delusional with ourselves either. But it's like, this is what we do for fun. This is what we do for our little part in the quote fight for whatever, Yeah. So it's like, this is what we do. We're not blaming. We're certainly not storming headquarters of a company that censors us or anything like that. That's where we cross the line into batshit crazy land, where it's like, don't you understand? being a YouTuber is all I have. And it's like, no, sorry, we go to work and we got kids to raise.
Then you go figure something else out because that's insane. Yeah.
Right. It's like, dude, you have given way much validity to this fucking notion of dysphoria than you have.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Yeah.
Just no.
I mean, and see, that's, I think also that there's certain parts of that too that come with, that's a generational thing, I think too, right? I think like I don't think our generation, and the woman you're talking about may be from our generation, so I could be completely wrong, but I feel like people from our generation are more inclined to not
age.
Yeah, I think people are more inclined to not think themselves that important. Like I feel like the YouTube generations and things like that tend to think that they're more uniquely important than people like us do.
Why am I not as important as the fucking world that's
listen, when your opening statement is you don't treat Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus this way, bitch, shut up. Are you serious? Like, you
don't get me wrong. Like,
here's my thing. That would be literally me comparing. Listen. I haven't seen you.
Numbers.
Yeah. Listen, I haven't seen you. Why aren't you demonetizing Brad Pitt? You know what I mean? Why haven't you? You know what I mean? Why do you let Brad Pitt just be on YouTube wherever? You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Why?
No.
Like, are you kidding me? Like,
the equivalent of what this chick is doing is us sitting here whining why we don't have fucking Joe Rogan numbers on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I mean it 100% is. It really is, and that's kind of my thing is that, like, yes, the things that she is saying are true. Like, I don't disagree that they're true, but I think that also, here's the thing, like you can't force people to be the way you want them.
Absolutely.
It absolutely still applies even when that thing would be beneficial for me.
Sure.
Right? Like, it would be beneficial for me if I could force YouTube to fucking make everybody watch our show. But here's the thing, that's fucking stupid, selfish, and childish. So I'm not even going to make that fucking argument, and I'm not going to sit here and whine about it like that should be the way it is, right?
Not that, but we don't care about it enough to make that.
No, because I'm not stupid enough to think that I am that important either. Like, if it so happened to be that I became that important, that would be awesome. But I'm not dumb enough to convince myself before it ever happens that I am.
Not only that I'm owed it at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that I'm somehow owed that importance.
Okay. Well, and here's where I go both ways on this. Okay, so springboarding off of that is that if other social media outlets, YouTube included, were more I guess, quote unquote, fair with the distribution of something like what we have, we could definitely reach more people.
Yeah.
But I'm also not delusional enough to think that, we're on the same level as people that have built careers upon it. And like I said, I really have to reiterate that fucking none of these companies are being honest with themselves, the media, and their viewers, listeners, subscribers, whatever. Yeah, they're participants. They're willing participants. None of them are being honest and just going like, that's all I ever ask out of somebody. That's all I ever. And,
I honestly, like, I've said this before on the show. If you're gonna fuck me, I'm okay with that, but just tell me. Be man enough to say, I'm gonna fuck you. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm gonna fuck you, and then it's like, okay, well, at least I know where you stand. You know what I mean? Like, that's not but don't be a coward about it. That's
what I'm saying. Is that all these companies are asking everybody else to be honest and own up to all their bullshit and fucking put their personal bullshit. Like, that's what social media is there for. It really is. Like, that's that's the real thing, the elephant in the room that nobody really wants to say, is that that's how these companies continue to make money off of you and exploit you, and you exploit yourself. I'm not going to put it all on the companies, like I said. But they've made you feel that you're inferior if you don't have a popular Instagram or a fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah,
And it's like,
that's something that I think too, that there's a lot of people that don't realize that for you to get a successful YouTube, to get a successful Instagram, things like that, like to get into those areas that are, and by successful, I don't mean a couple hundred, I mean thousands upon, close to millions or better. That's an everyday job. Like you can't like just get up and work an hour a day on being a YouTube star and be a YouTube star. That's not how it works. Those people that are YouTube stars, that are legitimate, like they make their life off of being on YouTube, those guys do spend 6 hours a day on fucking making YouTube videos.
Video editing and all that.
Dude, people don't realize that shit. Like that, like, no, dude, to go in and edit a video that takes time, dude. That's not bullshit. That's not little shit. That's a full day of fucking work. And yes, no, it's not the most difficult work in the world. It's very easy, like as far as physical labor shit goes. But I mean, like, dude, those people are working all day.
Wrapping that whole bit up is that, like, this is how delusional people have become. Like, because it's like, no, maybe it just, you might have put a lot of work into it with means that you have, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a star. And just because people, social media outlets like YouTube are, demonetizing or being cunts or not being honest about what they are doing and what they censor, what they choose to let go. And there's stuff like, for instance, perfect and fucking analogy is that, like, YouTube has taken down like white supremacist ranting, saying nothing because of context, with them having derogatory terms for different ethnic people. But you know what's still on there? This video. This is. And it really encapsulates what the phony outrage in this country really is, where it's like, well, no, it's, and then you want to post like what was it? The fucking girls lacrosse team from fucking Virginia or wherever the fuck it was. Did you see that shit where they're singing lyrics? It was one of those other type of fucking deals where they're singing lyrics, and it's whatever, nigga, whatever, and they're like, these kids are racist, and it was like, I don't care what anybody says, fucking, I've been amongst plenty of different races, and whatever it says in the song, and you got that shit bumping with your fucking people, you're allowed to fucking say it if you're a white boy. I don't care. I've never had a fucking I tell you what turns black, Mexican, whatever, different people off about that is if you're the white guy going, or
my, and then looking at him doing the like,
is this okay? That's even more of a turnoff. Just like, man, this white boy is really feeling some fucking Biggie right now. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Dude. Like, I mean, here's my thing. I think that it's important for people to realize, like, I think everybody needs a father or mother or adult influence that will crush their fucking dreams, right? Like, you need somebody to tell you, like, that, like, hey, dude, the most important thing in your fucking life may be the stupidest shit I've ever heard, right? Like, now that doesn't mean that you can't pursue that, right? It doesn't mean that, but don't act like I have to give a fuck. Don't act like the world owes you some give a fuck about your stupid workout video, right? Like, about this chick's deal, right? Like, don't act like everybody has to like your stupid shit.
That's
Like,
what it is. That's what it is at
that
the end
shit
of the
may be fucking ridiculous to everybody else, and they don't owe it to you to care. They don't. And I think that that's a lot of what people fucking just lose in today's society is they think that feelings and fucking caring is just owed to people. And it's like, dude, I don't have to give a fuck about a single thing you say. I don't, none of it. I don't even have to act like I give a fuck. Like, I mean, and that's what people don't like realize is like, you think everybody's assholes and you don't even realize most people are generally good people. And you know why you can tell that? Because they act like they're interested in the bullshit that you're saying to them. Like when you talk to people, do they like naturally go like,
It's like we don't know that anymore because we don't have fucking a lot of like direct social interaction like what was forced upon us. And man, I wanted to get into that too. I mean, we got to hit our final break, but I spent a long
no, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
But I was sitting there, you know, and I'm thinking about my kids and I'm thinking about our generation and I'm thinking about like, you know, like I'm sure like, oh, these fucking little half fags, you know, watching TV and playing video games half the day. And it was like, motherfucker, we still went outside until it was time to come in, you know, but it was like, yeah. So like to eat pizza and watch movies and play video games and go to Blockbuster and get that shit on Friday or Saturday night.
Fuck yeah.
As kids. Now that was something that wasn't offered to our parents, but you know, it was a little bit something extra for us, but that's the middle ground. And I was thinking about that shit where I'm like, look, man, as an adult, and I brought this up before, but you know, fucking I keep harping on, you know, my kids looking at me like the source of entertainment, you know. Like, look, motherfucker, like I'm trying to do my own shit too.
Yeah, go do something, motherfucker. What are you doing? Yeah.
I made you fucking breakfast and lunch, got you off to school, worked all goddamn day, picked you up, then fucking got home, immediately started cleaning and making dinner. And by the time I'm done with all that shit, I'm sitting down. All right. Like you need help with your homework, no problem. But fucking don't look at me like I'm supposed to be doing some shit.
Yeah.
You to get you, like,
no,
damn,
I mean,
monkey boy. It's like I pay the fucking rent and light. Yeah. Thanks for this hot water, Daddy. You know, like
no, it's funny because like it's funny when you know, like, all right, so like my own daughter, like there's certain things that I could say to my own daughter that if I said them now, I could say them to my stepdaughters, and it would be acceptable. When we
get it, but
but when we first started, like there was certain things that I could be like, listen, dude, I don't have to give a fuck about you. Like I don't have to.
Yeah.
I just do because I love you. But like don't just treat me like I owe you that shit and you just do whatever the fuck you want to. And so I said that to them once and I remember seeing their faces and I was like, oh fuck. Like god damn, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
well,
I didn't mean it like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like don't take that jab.
They're girls too, so it's a little bit different. Like I talk to my boys like up like, hey man, this is some man shit, you know? Like my stepson, man, you know, he's a great kid. He really is a great kid. But like cannot keep his fucking room clean to save his goddamn life. Wants all the new fucking like he's all about that fucking like that swag shit. Like
no, dude, I can't do that. No.
And look, man, I don't, you know, I hook him up with shit when I deem it's necessary, more than anybody, you know, just
I mean, like, kid wants to look fresh, look fresh.
Right. No more than any of the other kids, but I'm like, yo, your mom wants to do that shit and you're fucking, but guess who's fucking crying at the end of the month when she ain't got no fucking money because you wanted the fucking demo swag fucking shit or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Like you want some Jordans and your mom's crying because she doesn't know how to balance a fucking budget. You know, guess who has that shit, you know? So it's like,
well, I just think, I think there's a certain point, and I was very much like with, look, I mean, with my daughter even, like it's a,
no, here, honey, put fucking $30 in your gas tank and fucking get done what you got to get done. Never mind, but I'm also the asshole if I bring up, wow, did he really need those fucking that Nike?
Yeah, he needed that fourth pair of shoes. You know what I mean? Like that kind of deal.
Sorry, he needed that Nike Elite shit a lot more than you needed $30 in your gas tank to get through the fucking end of the month.
Yeah, you didn't need to get to work. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Like, yeah,
So-
it's that kind of shit. And I get it, but I mean, it's one of those things that, like, look, there's very much a, like, and that's why it's so much different with, like, with your own kids, not because they are your kids, not because they're your kids, because they're part of you kind of deal, but literally because of the fact that with your kids, they have known you since they were alive. Right, like that's why, not because like, oh, that's my blood, so that makes that different. But
They do
more
have
of,
that.
no, they do have that notion. But here's the thing: if you were to have a kid, and obviously I haven't went through fucking scientific fucking testing through this, but if you had a kid,
bitches,
and you had that kid before, say you became that kid's stepdad before, before the kid was born. Or whatever, right? Like, or right as the kid was born, or somewhere in that area, and they didn't know any different. I feel that most kids would have that same feeling towards you that a blood kid would have if you never told them. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's more of it's up here more than it is in your veins kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But it's also like I'm not gonna I don't know, like that there's a part of me, like I got a good relationship with my stepson and everything, but like I'm also not I still have to like there's a certain amount about it where I keep it at more of a distance. So it's like like I'm there for guidance, I'm there for man shit, you need some man boy shit. I've got your back on that because I've got to tell his mom that, like, look, man, this is the time of his life that he needs to, this is the time.
Yeah, he needs somebody to tell him what's up. Yeah.
That this needs to start happening for what boys are growing into, or whatever. And it's like those fucking mothers, man, those single mothers. I've told my wife gets fucking pissed off at me whenever I say this, and I'm like, I've seen it for every fucking single mother whose dad is not, who the dad of the kid is not in the fucking picture or refuses to be part of the fucking picture. I've seen it in every single mother I've ever dated, been married to, known as a friend, etc., that they treat their fucking little boys especially just like they're fucking a bunch of titty boys, dude. And they get
dude. No, I mean,
easily and all that
dude,
stuff.
I was fucking blessed to have a mom who very much, when my father died, was like, well, you're the man in the house now.
Right.
Like, and that was immediate cut to, all right, well then now you're 14 years old. You know what I mean? Like you're the man in the house now, and so it was a different, like, no, so you're responsible for you now, right? Like fucking, and not to say that that's for everybody. I mean, it didn't work out for me in the greatest, but it definitely gave me a
sense of like, and I had a younger brother too, what I mean?
A sense of responsibility that even though I made I made mistakes, I have never been one to not own those mistakes. Like, no, dude, I fucked up, but that's me. I did that, and I fucking take that. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad my mom actually brought that up. I told you, whatever it was, about a week and a half ago, I went to go spend my daughter spent the week at my mother's house. We went up there for the weekend and brought her back with us. But, I was talking to my mom one night, and she, we always get on those fucking, age-old conversations that you get looped into when you stay up late, with family or whatever.
Yeah.
My mom actually acknowledged, like, what I actually did, and I knew that I did the whole time, was like, when me and your dad got split up, like when you were at home, it was like you just took on that role and no one ever asked you to, you wanted to do that and no one ever asked you to, that whole man of the house type situation, so it was, It was about like protecting my mom, like my stepdad who moved in almost immediately, whatever.
Yeah.
It was like more of like a security blanket thing, more of a monetary deal.
Yeah.
But I was like, I gotta look after my little brother. I gotta make sure my mom's okay. Like I was always concerned, and my little brother gave my mom hell, but she's his little fucking. Even though he fucks up or whatever and fucks up.
That's her little baby. Yeah.
You're right. So it's like I remember like my brother used to talk to my mom like.
So let me ask you this. This is gonna be not to be offensive to anybody at all. But I have a question on this one. Do you think that because now is this? I actually don't know. I believe you only have one brother, correct?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I got a half brother that I've never met before, but we talk
Okay.
online and stuff. But
okay, but so your brother is gay, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So my question being, do you believe that kind of treatment had any influence on that, or do you believe that like it's kind of one of those nature nurture things, or do you believe and not to make a claim either way? I'm literally just asking because I wasn't in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
The whole thing with that is like, and I've said this plenty of times, like my brother desperately wanted to be persecuted a lot more than he ever was by my family. But I think that even though that happened to be the case and we're fucking good little Catholic boys, you know what I mean? Like
and y'all get along very well, correct? I mean, like y'all are...
not I mean we do
okay, well, y'all get along very well as much as adult brothers could. Adult brothers that don't live next to each other.
A couple years ago, my brother did some shit a couple years ago that is like fucking just it still sticks in my craw, and it's like I gotta separate that shit from what it is when we actually get together. I
got you. Yeah.
Like Lane loves fucking Patrick. My son just fucking talks about him all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm like, fucking it's Uncle Patrick time, dude. Fucking get after it, And Patrick's, of course, like, no, I don't like kids or whatever and everything like that. But he plays, he's good with.
No, he seems, and I've actually never. I think
my kids, but he doesn't like. He's like, I don't care for anybody else's shit. But
I don't think me and him have never actually spoken, but I think I've actually seen like him comment on your shit at one point or another, something like that. But he like seemed like he had a good sense of humor, like cool, you know what I mean? And the way you've explained him to me, kind of deal was like,
well,
really,
I'll go
I mean,
back.
the kind of folks that I could, totally fucking deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like not
Absolutely. He's just a me. It's just a ship. Like I said,
a bit of attention hog kind of
homosexuality is a fucking if you want to claim it as the worst of the worst about homosexuality is really the sociopathic
I think the ideology of it is worse than the sexuality of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think like the sexuality of it, I don't think anybody really gives a fuck about.
I don't have to give a fuck about anybody else because I'm the only one that's important. And
no, I mean, dude, you look at it like Spartans were fucking each other in the ass forever, right? But nobody really gives a fuck about that.
Just sexuality.
Yeah,
really.
like I said, that's just purely sexuality. Nobody gave a fuck. But when you bring the ideology of it, people are like, "All right, dude, that's a little too much." You know what I mean? Like, I don't need all that. You know? Yeah.
There's an entitlement and a sociopathological fucking just ideology that comes along with all that. It's like, no, that's the real quote sin to me is that you feel entitled enough that you are the only one that you have a loss of humanity because you don't need to deal with anybody else, and you carry that on like you're the only fucking one that matters in the world. So
I think that there's a certain thing that we could both agree on here for to probably be kind of the biggest deal of all of it is that fucking victimhood is probably one of the most annoying fucking things in the world. Like the constant and you had just mentioned it, right? Your brother wanted to be persecuted by his family more than he was, right?
Right, exactly.
Like it was one of those and that's what I mean is that like I need people to hate me, right? So that I can feel like I'm battling something, right? Like I need to feel like yeah.
By my persecution. And if I don't have that, then what do I really have? Oh, I'm left to my own fucking merit. Well, that stinks. My merit stinks, and I'm not comfortable in my own skin.
Like wait, you want people to just like me just because I am who I am, or I have to accept the fact that people don't like me for that I am who I am, right?
Right. Well, that's what, and I've told him this since we were fucking in high school. I was like, I don't dislike you because you're fucking gay. No one dislikes you because you're gay. Like some ignorant ass cocksuckers. I'm your brother and I love you no matter what. So some ignorant cocksucker might fucking dislike you because of their preconceived notion about whatever gay
people or whatever the fuck. But yeah, but that guy was probably a piece of shit to begin with.
Right. So I'm like, no one disliked. If they truly there's a lot of people, and if they dislike you, it's not because you're gay. It's because you're a fucking self-entitled asshole.
It's because you're a faggot. Yeah. No, it's
want to smear your nose.
No, that's it. I only said that. Yeah, I only said that to divide the fucking lines of the difference between what I mean by gay and what I mean by faggot. Those are not the same things. Yeah.
Right. Stop being such a Phoenician and fucking you're good to go. You know,
exactly.
Like stop being purposely persecuted. You know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think that's a lot of today.
I'm going to make a quick drink. We'll hit just a quick break, 4-minute song, and then come back and wrap up, do a little bit of overdrive if that's cool with you, brother.
Cool, brother.
All right, so we'll play this. And out of my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, fucking greatest Southern rock band, and that has come to fruition in the past probably 20, 25 years. Jackal.
Oh, nice. Nice.
When will it rain? I feel the heat burning through my shoes. Soft shoulders getting harder, adding to my blues. Can't count the days go by, can't wash away the stain. Left on the life behind me from which I came. The day is getting longer, the heat
right, everybody, back at it. Final segment.
Man, not to make any comparisons or anything like that, dude. I like no shit. Listening to that made me want to go listen to like fucking Motley Crue Theater of Pain. It was like still my, yeah, dude. Like, man, I miss like traditional rock. Like
I really do. Where it's like it's hard. Like that's where somebody like AC/DC like rules.
Oh, dude, no, they fucking mastered it.
It is the pinnacle of what you deem to be hard rock because it's not fucking crazy like completely.
It's not metal. It's not fucking
Right.
metal, but it
Right.
is absolutely hard rock. Yeah.
Gut punching hard rock. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell me that fucking you could ever listen to like dude, Back in Black, just their most basic of fucking songs. That's not even their most, fucking aggressive or hard song, but that is absolutely just a, like, come on, dude, listen to that song and tell me that's not a slap you in the face fucking type of rock, dude. It absolutely is, man. I miss that shit. I really do. And also knowing that it's never gonna be, that'll never be a thing again. Just never be a deal like that.
Well, we're also, speaking a lot about culture and stuff tonight. We're never in a place where anymore where it's it's always like who can be more extreme, who can
who's gonna push the envelope a little bit more, which is good, right? I mean, that progresses society to a certain degree, depending on what, I guess.
It's just the most iconic.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I mean, come on.
Dude.
It's
You can't, like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Fuck
or
you.
how many times you've heard it. Or
Yeah,
how many
no, dude, I've heard that over 1,000,000 times, guaranteed, dude. And I will tell you right now, fuck you if that does not fuck you up a little bit. Like if you don't get a little bit like, God damn it, like,
there's songs that I think are great that I have to put on the shelf for a long time. That's one I could listen to at least once every day and fucking feel the same fucking
yeah,
way.
there's no way I could ever be like, oh no, I mean, it's just not really getting me today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, nah, dude, like, nah, that's some shit. Yeah.
You never say, Back in Black again.
Oh fuck, they're playing Back in Black again. Yeah, nobody ever is like. Actually, I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, AC/DC's on." You know, what I mean? Like nobody. I've never heard anybody say that shit.
You know what I have said? Oh, Styx Renegade again.
Yeah, fucking Renegade. God damn it.
That's
Which
what I've
now,
said.
and I won't even argue. I like Renegade. Like, I think it's a great song.
So
don't want to hear it for the 28th time.
To put it on the shelf for a while. Like,
Exactly.
So hear it again, it's okay. You know, you're like, this is a good song. You know, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, and when it picks up, right? Like when it, you know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, no, that's a motherfucker right there. Look at that, get going. Yeah, that's all right. But about that second go round, you know what I mean? Like if you heard it at 8 and then you hear it again at 2, you're like, all right, yeah, fuck it.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, what's on the other oldie station? You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that right now. Yeah.
Oldie station. Yeah, for sure.
No, whereas like AC/DC, dude, I can hear Thunderstruck, Back in Black, fucking all, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, no, keep it rolling, dude. I'm good.
Way to hell every fucking.
No, I want to see that. No, Hell's Bells, like fucking. Oh God, dude, like yeah. Let me see that motherfucker one-legged fucking skipping across the goddamn stage again. I want to see it.
Right.
Like, fuck it.
And it's like, dude, like, and even for me, like ACD, like my favorite track from AC/DC is Jailbreak.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was not a fucking overly. It's not even played on. It's if you
no,
listen,
it's definitely not. I wouldn't say it's a regularly played single by any means.
Jailbreak has never played on fucking radio.
No, I'll say I've probably heard it once or twice, but that's maybe
And that's
it.
I played it on this show before. you know?
Probably, yeah. No, that's not even me. Yeah, that's me being fucking very modest, or well, not very modest, but very
Jailbreak is my favorite fucking AC/DC track, but it's another one I just don't get sick of ever.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, there's a few bands that are out there that they're amazing and they're huge, and I don't give a fuck that they're huge. Like, you can say whatever you want to. Like, yeah, no, like Queen. Like, don't fucking tell me that Queen's not fucking amazing. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. Freddie Mercury is a goddamn god, dude. That motherfucker hits octaves that people didn't know existed.
Right.
And all the way through a song. Like, I just boom, 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 boom. And you're like, yeah, no, that motherfucker is amazing. If you don't agree, you aren't listening to the same goddamn song. You know what I mean? Like, there's just, there are certain people out there that you can't argue that. And I think it sucks that that's not the case anymore. Like, nobody could argue when you heard, like, dude, I mean, oh man, no, I don't think
Hold on, Ken.
I know you're going. I see you over there. I see the marms moving.
This is NPR News.
I'm gonna feed you, baby bird.
Oh, I believe it.
Don't you worry.
But there's not a dude. Name the. Oh,
Pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you. No man has fall. Under pressure that burns a building down, splits the family in two, puts people on streets. Eat it up, eat it up. That's okay. It's the terror of knowing what this world is about. Watching some good friends screaming, let me out. Pray tomorrow gets me higher. Okay.
Come on, man.
Dude, the guy, dude.
Vocals only. Go look up vocals only.
Yeah, only vocals. Dude, the guy, there's not a track out there that you can, I mean, dude, still to this day, there are people that will go look at, dude, Bohemian Rhapsody, one of the most overplayed songs ever done. Still to this day, people that are straight vocalists will tell you that is one of the most masterful songs ever done, because he hits octaves in that people don't do. People do not roll through every octave the way that motherfucker goes through every octave in that goddamn song and hit shit that people just don't do anymore. It's not the way people don't hit shit like that. And the guy is amazing, man. And not only that, but there's a stage presence. There's dude, I mean, it's so much to the point, like, even, dude, I ate, like, so when I was traveling, going to, like, Europe and shit like that while I was in the military, like, I would, like, I would tell my wife, even, like, so the Hard Rock Cafe that's my American embassy, right? Like, so I would just go to, no matter where I was, I would go to the Hard Rock Cafe. Right? If I was in France or I was in wherever, I'd go to Hard Rock, and then I'd go sit at the Freddie Mercury table and take a picture at the Freddie Mercury table, right? Like, that was always my fucking deal. So I've got, like, a picture of me in, like, fucking 4 different Hard Rock Cafes at the Freddie Mercury table, like, you know what I mean? And because there's a certain, like, dude, the guy just, there's a certain grasp of music, a certain, like, when you can go, hey, listen, this is something that I enjoy, but I know that this will hit everyone.
Right. You know? Here's the other thing too, is, like, you know, I don't know, because I've often referred to music as my sixth sense on this show.
Yeah.
And I'm not the fucking best. I can play a lot of different instruments, very mediocre, but that shit, like, that shit is hits your soul.
Yeah,
like,
dude. No.
There's no other way to explain it other than
he's a. I mean, basically, I would say that he's the Dave Grohl of vocals, right? Whereas even then, I would say Dave Grohl is the dude. Dave Grohl is the Freddie Mercury of instruments. Like, I mean, he really is. Like,
sure.
You know, I mean, you're looking at people that appreciate music on a different level, like a level that we can all appreciate, like absolutely, but they understand it or they feel it on a different level than your run of the mill human being does. Like there's something, and I would be willing to even bet you that if you were to go do CAT scans on folks like this, that there's that little signal in their fucking brain that's hitting a little.
You haven't seen this before.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that little part that it's triggering right there, that's that's something unique right there. You know, and just because there's some little thing in there that, like, dude, I mean, you've got guys that Freddie Mercury, like, dude, it doesn't matter if you like rap, you like rock, you like fucking country, like whatever. You can hear a Freddie Mercury song and go, that's good shit. Like, that's not my style of music, but that's good shit. Like, I know that. You know,
so you
what I mean?
Scaries on the wall. Scaries on his way. Watch where you spit. And advance you wait until it's over. Then you got hit.
I mean, come on, dude.
Dude, that motherfucker's voice right there, dude.
I named my fucking son after this guy. You know what I mean? Like, so,
No,
like,
he absolutely.
Then look up some fucking vocals only on YouTube's. I guess is while they're still up. I guess is what I should say.
Yeah. We're getting them flagged right now.
Right. So yeah, go definitely look up some of those vocals only shit by your favorite artist. Anybody that you can go look up vocals only, and of course it's overmodulated because it's like the master track.
Yeah, they're having to remove the fucking music from it. Yeah.
Right. So but yeah, dude. I mean, it's fucking nuts, dude.
No, I mean, I think there's a certain point, like, dude, you've just got to appreciate the fact that well, I mean, look, dude, there's music still to this day. I mean, proof enough, right? Is that no matter if you've done, and I would say that you probably have needed to have done some type of psychedelic at some point in your life to feel that certain, to have that kind of respect for it. But I think that there's
yeah.
I mean, dude, there's music that I have listened to that is in different languages that I 100% feel that that I can hear and go, no, listen, where that puts me, what that does to me is that's people talking in fucking music language, like 100%.
To this day, I couldn't tell you what that Italian woman was singing about, but I do know.
Yes.
The few minutes at Shawshank.
Yes.
You know, like,
yes.
That's the real shit. You know what I mean?
And that's what it is, dude. Like, dude, I had a buddy of mine, man, when I was when I was doing DMT, man, that played and I'm gonna say like Native American, and I'm probably wrong.
Like anytime we do those powwows up here, that the fucking the guys come up to do the powwows at our at the grounds at our local flea market, we always go up there and be a part of it, and I get my white sage and all that stuff.
Beautiful, dude.
And buy their CDs and stuff too. Yeah, but yeah, just having that on tap whenever you want to have it,
dude. There's a certain thing that I think people. I think people ignore. I think we ignore the commonalities that we have, right? Like
for me, that aspect of it, that musical aspect of it, is the most. It's my ground wire. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my ground wire is the music that comes with a lot of, like, depending, never mind what culture it comes from or whatever, but like that's my universal language. It just is. I'm not, it's not like, oh well, I'm on a different level than you people or whatever. Like
no, but I mean, because I think that
my alternate language.
Yeah, no, I think that there are definitely people that are out there that are on a different level that can deliver multiple I guess categories, right?
I understand what you
that could deliver like multiple genres, like your Dave Grohls and your Freddie Mercury's and things like that could hit any kind of different style of music and still make it appeal to somebody, and not because of the fact that like, oh well, I make it catchy, right?
Right. Look, all of these different musicians that were able to, and fucking people can say what they want to about Kurt Cobain, but like Kurt Cobain was at a time like Dave Grohl said about Kurt Cobain's voice. He said it sounded like he was boiling nails in his throat at times.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
But it was
so much so during Unplugged.
Right. So, and he's like
still beautiful. Yeah,
exactly. It was real, and it really cut through to like this multi-generational thing that was like, that's somebody that we have to fucking have reverence for.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at, and actually a perfect example, because like my dad enjoyed Neil Young, right? Heard fucking Kurt Cobain.
My life.
Dude, yeah, heard Kurt Cobain and was immediately like, "Oh wow,
that's the Neil Young of your generation."
Exactly, and that's exactly what he said. He was like, "No, that's you guys' Neil Young. That's y'all's Neil Young. That's your. I'm just here to tell you a story, guy.
Right,
you know what I mean, like I'm just here to tell you how I feel about these things, and if you don't like it, that's fine, right?
What?
But I'm just here to tell you."
Well, your dad was a wise guy then, man. If he,
dude, he was a pretty fucking he's a pretty bright guy, man. He was there. He had that
intuition.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he knew a lot about a lot. He understood a lot about a lot, right?
Exactly.
And so yeah, man. I think that there's a lot that we could do to bridge gaps just around the fucking world on things, and just because of like we're talking different musical genres. I mean, like, there's so much that just cultures, societies, genres, all of that.
Culture dictates television, music, media, government, etc.
Yeah.
That's final summation as we wrap the show up tonight here is that here's the problem. Since the past 20 years, you've had all of these things dictate what you're supposed to think as an individual. It was never for the past 20 years, it hasn't been something of inspiration. It hasn't been anything of artistic or merit or value, etc. Whatever you think about it.
Yeah.
What is conveyed as art nowadays, whether it's modern art, drawing, music, or whatever, or political commentators or mainstream media or whatever it is, it's a prescribed fucking notion of what you're supposed to think, feel, believe, etc. There's no open interpretation. Well, here's what this song, you think fucking there's liner notes of Masters of Reality by Black Sabbath to fucking let you know, like, well, here's what this song's really about.
No, I mean, do you think? No, I mean, dude.
Sorry, I
simple songs.
Oak, drank a fucking Fifth of Jack, and fucking wrote this kick-ass song. You're still singing
simple songs. Simple songs. What is it? One verse. Wish You Were Here. Pink Floyd. Do you think they needed it? They didn't need to explain shit to you, but I guarantee your ass wants to cry. Go ahead and actually, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's exactly the way it fucking works. Like, there are certain things that this shit was written for your fucking soul, and quit trying to act like it's different than that.
People, and I mean, I'm not putting us anywhere where we shouldn't be, but I would like to think that this show is a testament to that as far as talk radio is concerned, where we're we're gonna project what, like, it might not always be like, it might be for you know, a varied audience. It might be for you know, a certain cut from the cloth, if you will.
I may be talking to you about some mainstream shit that day. I may be talking to you about whatever, but I'm always just talking to you as a regular fucking person. I am
always want to have the
just a human being expressing some shit to you. That's it. And I think that there's a certain point that, like, and we'll end it real quick, but I feel like I'm starting a conversation on this, but there is a bit of like,
cool. Let's go.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think that there's a certain point, like, look, I do believe that capitalism is the best thing that there is in the fucking world as far as economic systems to progress people and things like that. I think another one of the problems is letting those don't let those motivations of making money dictate what your soul is.
Absolutely.
Like it,
been about that my entire life, and I'll never fucking change, man. Look, I might make fucking. I never thought that I would be where I am today at this age. You know, 2 months I turned fucking 33 years old, and I never thought that I would be here by this age. But I also understand the need for me to be where I'm at this age, with what I have to take care of. So it's like, but that will never dictate what the fuck I'm all about. Like, people.
No, it shouldn't. And that's the thing, is that it should never,
People look at me, well, I see it all the time. Like, they're like, I see the people at the grocery store acting like I'm about to whip out a fucking EBT card. I swear to God, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean,
like,
I can see you in your Jinkos, bro.
they really think that that's what's about to happen, but it's like, no, man. You know, like, I'm a dirtbag. You know, I'm fucking Jinkos and
But I go to work every day for this dirtbagginess, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to let that dictate who the fuck I am, ever. I never have, never fucking will.
No,
if
I think that
there's no point to living to me.
And that's what I think sucks. And I think that's awesome about what we do on the show still, is that gray area that we constantly talk about, is that, like, no, I understand the
keep them guessing, motherfuckers.
No, but I understand the socialist kids that are like, but capitalism is fucking bad, because they're only looking at capitalism on the greed, let's make money scale, right? And then, but to that same degree, I understand that these socialist kids are only looking at socialism as but let's just share and not be out to get that shit.
Let's talk about the generation directly after us, you know, which might be a little bit older than these, like, high school kids we've been talking.
It's really what it is. I feel like I feel like what's fucked up about the world is a huge misunderstanding, right? And I get, like, right, like I fucking.
Sorry, guys, we've had a huge misunderstanding.
Yeah, but, like, no, I mean, how fucked up is that, right? It's a really simplified way of explaining it, but I really feel like it's both sides being like, no, I refuse to acknowledge that fucking competition definitely makes things better, right? Like as a socialist, I'm going to refuse to acknowledge that fucking competition makes things better, right? And then as a capitalist, I'm going to refuse to acknowledge that helping your fucking neighbor is a fucking benefit to everyone, right?
But Chick-fil-A is a Christian company that doesn't like gays. You know what
I mean? Like, no, and that's the thing, is that you're like, wait, what? No, why can't we just help our neighbor and make money? Can we just do that? Like, at the same, like, can we just?
It's like, by the way, this is a franchise, and we're still part of the community. We live fucking 5 minutes up the road from this place. You know?
No,
what I mean?
and that's it. I mean, I think that there is I do believe, obviously, at the higher levels, right? At the higher levels, people understand what's going on. They know the misunderstandings that people are having. They understand that the regular human being doesn't really know what's going on. And they're playing that through the media, through everything else that they're constantly doing, and you can see it happening. But it still is. It's one of those things where it's like, fuck, man, on a regular, civilized, everyday, people that you run into basis, most of it's just a fucking misunderstanding. Like most people just don't know. You talk to your regular person that thinks socialism is cool. They don't think socialism's cool because they just think you should rob your neighbor. That's not like, you know what I mean? They think socialism's cool because they think socialism is that method in which you just everybody shares. Right? You know what I mean? And like it's that kind of shit where you're like, dude, no, listen, everybody, man, fuck, can we just sit down and everybody talk?
Guess what? If
Like,
I love
fuck.
you and you love me and you're in a fucking bad situation and I've got the means to help you, like I said, we're fucking, I mean, honestly, in the most insane forms of what this show is, we're fucking like hardcore ANCAPs here. But guess what? We're not like everybody is painted ANCAPs as like, just these uncaring fucking people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, listen, dude, I am regularly that guy that can't help you I can't help you economically, but I will sleep in your truck with you. Like that's like I'll stay in your truck with you, but I don't have
booty hole. But
yeah,
no,
like, hey, look, dude, I don't have any money to give you, but I mean, fuck, I'll crash in your truck with you so you don't have to sleep by yourself, bro. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to tell you.
I am the guy that fucking gives money out to people when I can.
Yeah.
There's people that I desperately want to help. People that I grew up with, people that have been in bands of mine that I grew up with in South Carolina, people that I know through radio, people that, and if I can help them, I do.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, that's none of y'all's fucking business, first off. But I carry that Christian aspect of it where it's like, nope, what's between me and you is between me and you, and I'll help you out.
I'm not helping you. Yeah. I'm not helping you for a pat on the back from somebody else. I'm helping you because I want to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I can help you, I've got the means to do so at the time, I will. And guess what? I fucking might have a total, my fucking radiator might fucking completely fall apart by the end of the month. And if that happens,
yeah, and you just happen to have worked on fucking radiators for fucking 8 years, you know
or what? I'm just saying, like, I might have given you $50 just out of the goodness of my heart, but guess what? I'm really strapped because I really need that extra $50 to get my shit fixed, or my shit done, and it's like, whatever, that's on me at that point. But like, I did it when I could, because I knew that, bar from any sort of, catastrophe, I could do that for you, and I'm that type of friend for people. So it's like, if you need that, no problem, bud, I got you. Or no, I can't do that, man. I can't do it right now. I'm kind of strapped, Yeah,
I've just to tell you the truth, dude, that's where I drew my biggest line, right? Like, I mean, that's where my whole falling out came with my family, was like very much like a like, no, like oh fuck, dude, I realized at this point, like, no, dude, there's a certain level of like, you're helping me out to tell those people you help me out. Like, I don't want to, I don't give a fuck. Like, all right, well then don't fucking help me out. You know what I mean? Like, then I don't need you. Yeah, I
deal with this from aspects of my own family, at least, where it's like, if you say that you're gonna help me out, fucking help me. I'll accept your help, because like I'm also and like I said, whatever, as raunchy and shit as we are here, I carry a lot of Christian aspects about me, with when it comes to stuff like that, where I'm like, if you're gonna help me out, don't have strings attached. Like, I'll help you out when I can help you out, but don't help me out with like going like, hey, I did this for you. What's
I mean, dude, very much so. Like, I've said this before, but like,
you ever have a what's in it for me? Don't.
No, I mean, here's my deal, dude. I appreciate fucking mob bosses more than loan sharks more than I appreciate those fucking fake helpful fucking people. Because at least a fucking loan shark is going to tell you, hey, dude, I'm going to give you $1,000, but you owe me $1,500, right?
Absolutely.
But but those fake ass helpful motherfuckers are going to go, hey, dude, I'm going to give you $400. Now, mind you, I'm going to ride you for $800, right? I'm not going to tell you I want $800, and I'm not going to tell anybody else that I want $800. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make you feel like you owe me fucking $800.
I'm going to tell you and everybody else I know that, hey, you know what? I gave that motherfucker $400 one time.
Look at all of what I did.
Right.
And it's one of those like, all right, well, hey, why don't you get the fuck out of here?
Me.
Yeah. And that's one of those things of like, wait, so you didn't help me for me. You helped me for you. Like, that's a difference. And I can see that.
You need that to make yourself feel important.
Exactly.
And
that's my deal.
It's like, just be a good fucking friend or family.
And that's what, and I think that's what sucks more for your decent fucking people. Is that you're decent people, you're just good people that are just like, no, dude, I just help people out because I need to, because they needed some help, so I helped them out, and I'm not looking for anything from that. Whatever.
I'll give you an example.
Those people don't complain, they don't bitch, they just do it.
My mom helped me out recently with some dental work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you just a straight up opinion about this, and my mom is the most important person that I have to relate this sort of discussion to in my life, and my stepdad is just fresh as fuck when it comes to that. If you want to help. If you don't do it, which is basically what I've been trying to tell her most of my life. You know what I mean?
If you don't want to help, then don't. If you do, then do. But don't fucking
Mom wants
make it difficult.
Mom wants to go, don't you see all that I've done? And I'm like, I'm not saying I'm unthankful. You can't say, it's like, yes, of course I'm thankful for it, but I can't, you can't hang it over my head. You know what I mean? Like, that's the wrong thing to do. You can't.
No, I mean, hey, look, dude, then you should have told me when you did it that you were fucking holding me hostage for this.
Right, exactly. You want strings attached? You want me to pay you back? I will. Yeah. And I told my mom after this, I said, well, this costed a little bit extra than what we thought it would, and you said you would help me out. And if you don't do it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll make it work.
If you don't want to do it, and I told her that straight up. If you don't want to do it, I'll figure it out. If you do, then I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But this is what it is, and if you don't want to do it, don't bitch
You're not
at me.
Buying me right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
sadly enough, that's been a lot of the relationship with my mom and her side of the family is like buying love, and I'm like, I don't need to like.
No, and I'm actually like,
my mom's like, I remember a time a handful of years ago where my mom was like, well, do you want to go to broadcasting school? And I'm like, I'm fucking 29 years old. Like, that time passed for me. I'm not going to become
dude, I mean,
I'm not actually radio for a living. I'm just saying, like, this is where my interest is, so I'm going to do it on my own terms. I don't need you to go like, well, I just, you're not going to, do you want to go to broadcasting school? And I'm like, no. Why?
Yeah. What are you fucking?
Tell me what I already know.
Yeah. Like I'm already broadcasting.
I'm already living a dream, motherfucker. You know?
But I mean, I think like there's a lot like, dude, my grandmother on my mother's side is probably going to die here pretty soon, right? And so my only cousin that is close to me, and he's not, honestly, to tell you the truth, he isn't that close to me personally. What actually ended up happening is while I was in prison, his mother was somebody who came to visit me regularly. And he took some Xanax while I was locked up, and a girl that he was riding with, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or whatever, a girl that he was riding with also took some Xanax. They had a car accident that fucking, it paralyzed him from the waist down, right? And so while I was in the hospital, I was very much like, hey, look, my family had known that, hey, I had taken Xanax. I had fucking done things like that. I had fucked up. I had fucking done stupid shit. And I had said, like, hey, dude, and not with that past wreck. That wasn't the thing I was talking about. I'm talking about 17. But either way, no, there was we had been through similar life situations, and
Sure.
and very much to the degree that I was like, look, man, if he needs anybody to talk to, I'm here, and obviously I'm in prison, but absolutely, I nothing but love for him and all that kind of shit, and so we talked very much. Now my grandmother is she's passing away, and she's not dead yet, so I hate to say it like that, like it's a
But yeah, man.
yeah, but it's coming, and so it's one of those things. Like my grandfather's already passed away. That's one of those things that just kind of the way it happens. Once your grandfather or your grandmother's already gone, the other one's gonna come within the next 10 years.
Exactly. It either happens abruptly or you can see it coming down the pipeline very quickly.
You know it's happening. Yeah. And so he is reaching out to me to go, hey, look, man, Granny's in a bad spot, right? And I love you, and I just want to let you know that, hey, look, these parts of our family aren't going to be here. If you'd like to come see her this weekend, you know what I mean? Like, no,
okay,
no. Hey,
okay.
the parts of our family that I know you don't agree with, right?
Right.
They're not going to be here this weekend. So if you'd like to come see her, then come see her.
See,
and
now
come.
that's even fucked up because like I think like for I don't know, for my family, there's a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like
What's fucked up in my head? Here's the thing that I'm really going through. Right, here's my little inner struggle. Is literally,
dude,
Yeah.
right quick, is that like I dealt with that shit recently, and there was a lot of it where it was like, wow, our stuff is really stupid. Like, no, this is about this. This like our stuff is really stupid. We don't.
No, here's what's fucked up in my head.
It's fences. It should.
No, I mean, what's fucked up? What's fucked up in my head? Right. This is what's going on in my head, which is probably not anything from the story that I just explained. Is probably nothing that's going on in anybody else's head with it. But what's going on in my head is that I don't want to ruin this guy's innocence. Right. I don't want to ruin that. No, he's genuinely being a good person. He genuinely is trying.
You don't want to show him what it really is.
Yeah, I don't want to. Here's my thing where I'm going. Yeah, look, dude, all of that is really kind of bullshit. All right, and I don't want to be the thing that. And it's not that. Listen, I love my granny. I do. I love her. I think she's a good grandmother. All right, but when it comes down to it. I haven't spoken to her ultimately in about 6 to 7 years. For like now I have went and had I did go have lunch with her once, right? But there's not a we're not like
you're not close.
Yeah, most of my family doesn't know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? Like and not to any degree of like
Still, that's crazy.
No, but I mean, it really is. I mean, to tell you the truth, man, like, look, what the thing that fucks with me more than anything is that there's a certain point that people go like, oh, well, man, dude, you're just, that's weird. Like, that's gotta be, you gotta feel alone. And it's like, dude, I do not feel alone. Like, I do not feel alone at all. Like, I feel like I see the reality of shit that other people don't really see, right? Like other people are selling you shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and there's regularly people telling you that this is cool, or this is the way you should act about shit, or no, I really care about you. And when it really comes down to it, most of them care about you to an extent, right? Like and that's the way life works.
Like, dude, for me, I'm going like, I've got this whole deal where I'm going like I still feel the bond with a lot of my family that I did when we were kids and we all lived within like 45 minutes of each other. Like
I've never had that to a degree.
My family lived like 45 minutes within each other, and then it's like we're all older, we've got our own families now, some of us, as far as like my generation goes or whatever. But I'm like, that feeling hasn't faded for me. It's just, man, I think that
No, it's grown up.
It's harder to fucking like, hey, we got to get up and go to work, and we got to, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
no, but I think
it's
that
asshole just to get together with the people that you love anymore. You know what I mean?
but I think that ultimately, right, your family just grew up. That's all that happened. Like it,
yeah, but I don't think that it was like how it used to be. Like, at least for my family, because also we all used to live closer together when I was growing up too.
But that's just kind of the way that it like that's normal though. Like I mean, you guys, families spread out. That's the way
Like,
things.
for instance, I love my dad's sister's family like so much. I have so many fond memories of them, and they live 2.5 hours away from me. They're the closest. They're literally the closest living relatives that I have, and I only see them once or twice a year.
Oh, dude, I gotta tell you right now, my closest fucking uncle, right? I'll say I have two of them, right? I got two closest uncles, and but I haven't spoken to either one of them in at least 2 years.
See, I at least speak to him, but it's just
my mother's brother was my dad's best friend, and that was
same thing with my family.
Yeah, like he was my dad's best friend and my mother's younger brother.
My dad's sister lived with my mother's family because they moved in her senior year, and she wanted to graduate from the same high school. So like my Aunt Kim's senior year, she lived with my mom's family, even though she's my dad's sister. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, kind of same deal.
Yeah.
But all right, man.
We gotta roll.
Yeah.
We gotta roll. We're like, I'm getting texts over here, like, get the fuck off the show. Yeah.
You motherfucker.
I don't care what I'm like, I'm really going through some personal shit here. Like, I don't care. Go to bed. Yeah.
Shit out, motherfucker. We're trying to get this shit done. All right.
Shut up, motherfucker. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Friday Night Super Show is back. I'll talk to you off air about that. We hashed out everything that happened on Friday night, so I'll be back with Dennis and Lee on Friday, and you will catch us with Post Politics back here Sunday night. So much love. Thanks for everybody that hung out and gave us props and listened and entertains our bullshit. So much love. Catch you soon.
Deuce. Love y'all, motherfuckers.
Hold on. Throwback, motherfucker. Listen up.
Dude.